Welcome to the Classic Center, the cultural, civic, and social center of Athens, Clarke County. Long before this facility was constructed on North Thomas Street, it was a dream of the local community that dated back to the mid-20th century. As early as 1948, Clarke County officials had been considering a civic center, but the idea languished for decades due to economic constraints and feasibility concerns. Even though the community leaders wanted a public assembly facility, civic leaders recognized that most of these facilities around the country are not profitable and rely on subsidies from the local taxpayers. In 1987, a special purpose local option sales tax referendum was approved by voters, providing sales tax revenue to build a civic center consisting of a convention center and performing arts theater. The following year, the Georgia General Assembly created the Classic Center Authority, with its appointed members charged with overseeing the facility. This first group of authority board members included E.H. Culpepper, Ralph Verastro, Leroy Dukes, Larry Blunt, and Thomas Hollingsworth. The site on the eastern edge of downtown was chosen specifically so the venue could contribute to revitalizing the area. Along with the county government, the authority hired James Polshek, a world-renowned architect, to design its new civic center. His design called for the demolition of Fire Hall No. 1. Built in 1912, Fire Hall No. 1 at 300 North Thomas Street has served as the main fire station of the 5 stations around the city, as well as a central meeting place for social gatherings. After much controversy about this sacred building's demolition and public outcry to incorporate the historic fire hall into the facility's design, the authority hired Rabun, Hogan, Hatch, and Oshie to devise plans and save the historic treasure of Fire Hall No. 1, even though more than $1 million in design fees had already been paid to the original designer. Stepping into historic Fire Hall No. 1 today, one can almost hear the alarm bells clanging as the men clambered down the fire pole near the back of the room. It's easy to imagine the fire wagons being pulled into the street by horses, as wheel marks and horseshoe prints have left permanent impressions on the building's original wooden floor. Today it houses the administrative offices of the Classic Center and the Athens Convention and Visitors Bureau. In addition to the original flooring, the pressed tin ceiling, and the fire pole, people have reported seeing a special guest in the fire hall in the ghostly form of Fire Captain Hiram Peeler. Captain Peeler stepped into an elevator shaft while fighting a fire and died 2 days later from his injuries. Some would say he never really left, as there has been more than one sighting of him in the fire hall wearing an old-time firefighting uniform. Construction on the new convention center facility began in 1994, and during renovation of the fire hall, a time capsule was found containing old pictures, medals, ribbons, and even a leather championship belt awarded to firefighters for competitions from the time the station was built. In January 1995, Paul Kramer, an up-and-coming leader in the public assembly industry, was hired as the Classic Center's new executive director, after having served a very successful stint as assistant executive director at a similar facility in Rochester, New York. In September 1995, the first phase of the Classic Center opened, which included the Athena Ballrooms and the Grand Hall exhibit space. The 2,100-person Classic Center Theater opened the following April, with Cats playing to a full house. The Classic Center has experienced multiple expansions since that very first phase, which include the parking deck in 2002, the upper floor of the Foundry Street warehouses in 2003, a theater renovation in 2005, additional meeting space added to the main building in Lower Foundry in 2006, and the most recent expansion in 2013, which included doubling the size of the Grand Hall and adding the atrium, modeled after Grand Central Station in New York City. In 2015, the 440 Foundry Pavilion was added to the Classic Center's campus. It has quickly become a popular spot for a variety of outdoor events, including concerts and ice skating, as well as RV parking for home University of Georgia football games. For generations to come, Athenians and visitors will have the opportunity to enjoy a place that honors all that has made Athens what it is today. Industry, music, agriculture, art, and history are all reflected in the Classic Center, the cultural, civic, and social center of the community. To quote the ancient Greeks and the ancient Athenian oath, This is truly a place that will, quote, transmit this city not only not less, but greater and more beautiful than it was transmitted to us.